going on? What's going on? What's up? What's up? I'm in the building. Like some coming in. If you're coming in, it should be a interesting topic tonight. But whatever else happens. So look forward to some engagement tonight. People calling in. I want to know how we get here. How we get here when women feel like they don't need men. So I'm gonna get started in just a second. I might probably call in. Let me start this other stream. All right. Get this other stream going. Oh, that ain't good. Move that back. Let's see. I'll block the view from everybody else. All right. So the question, do women need men? Are women brainwashed about, do they need a man? Have society brainwashed women? Do they need men? And I came up with some things here and a list of things to talk about of how society has played and brainwashed women that they don't need a man, or men don't need women at some point too. But it's mostly started. Let me see. Let me get some things started over here. Waiting on the call too. Make sure Mike call in tonight. And if you join me from the other stream, come in from Stack 44 on YouTube and join the live. Maybe even call in if you're a woman or a man, whatever. We want to talk about this topic because I think we don't value that men need women, women need man, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, we don't value it, especially in the Black community, like we should. So, but let me get into it though. I don't know why I can't clear my throat, guys. But anyway, the first thing you want to look at about do women need men or do men need do women need men? That's the topic. Well, I'm not gonna say men need women. Do women need men? And then are women brainwashed? So the 1960s, they started passing laws of a welfare system, and this is when the government started saying a woman can have assistance if she kicks the man out the house. So this was the first thing that I feel like that started for a woman to feel more independent, or if the man was not to be there, she will actually get assistance if the man's not in the home from the government. Fast forward to later, well, probably a little bit. Then they started making the wages equal towards men and women. And then women felt like, oh, I can make my own money. I don't need a man. So that was the second thing after the welfare has came. The poor women used to get assistance. And then the women that want to go out there and do something about their lives, they can go out there and get the same college degree, same job, same equal pay, which I'm not against. But it was a shift between the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Fast forward to the 80s. You got, around in the 80s, let me see, I got my notes up. You started to see in the 80s, you start to see the shows when it was valuing a woman and a man, the Leave It to Beavers, the shows like that, maybe even the Brady Bunches. Those shows started to slowly decline towards the 90s. And then after that started to decline during the 90s, then we have reality TV. Or not, I don't want to say reality TV, we have talk show. What one would call it daytime TV. You got the Jerry Springers, the drama, the Michael Jordans, the Ricky Lakes, who's ringing the doorbell, coming in. The let's say who else? Montel Jordan, the Morris. All this drama on these talk shows of relationships in all communities, especially the black community. And it started to put an eye on the man as the man probably ain't shit. So it started pointing the finger. The next thing that happened was the reality TV. The real, what was it? The Real World, The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, Flavor of Love, The Love of Ray J. All these things has like brainwashed people. Teen Mom, Hell Date, all this stuff that even Blind Date, all this stuff that actually has put people to entertain just to have fuckery just on TV to be entertained by people's misery, and misery loves company. So society has played the role with all these talk shows, especially daytime TV back in the day. People used to run home to watch Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones, things like that. Society start to see it's take a shift that we got these people's attention about people's real life drama. And then after that, daytime TV, like I said, reality TV came along. And when reality came on, it was the Real World. Like I said, Flavor of Love, The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, Ray J, for the Love of Ray J. All those shows had an imprint on the way society was headed. And fast forward to now, it's social media, but we'll get to that in a second. So all those things has stopped hurt the community in the long run. So then we move on to the music generation. The music generation has always been always a big influence on all the communities for building relationships. What's going on? Maybe you should call in. I need you to call in. But we talking about how women have been brainwashed, or how us as a society has been brainwashed. So they start off with the gangster music. They got to the man first with the gangster music. They got the gangster music to do gangster rap, and then start putting the black man against the black man. Then the black man is more black women than black men. Then the black man start killing each other, which created more single moms. And then after they started killing each other and create more single moms, they said, let's take it a little step further. Let's see if we can degrade women and get away with it. They degrade women, they get away with it. Then women say, oh, I want a husband, I want a bad boy. Then they start making the bad boy more attractive. Then after they make the bad boy more attractive, women will start lining up for the bad boys, for the rappers, for the entertainers, for the athletes. Then next, they go on to degrading women, video vixens, which back in the day, that's what they was called. Now they're Instagram models. So all this has came on from generations and generations of going from the starting in the 60s with the welfare. If you just join me, starting with the 60s with the welfare, get the welfare going. Next, make women get their money, which is nothing wrong with women making the same type of money. But women used to be training for a woman was to be a housewife in the 60s and 70s, especially in the black community. Black community, there was more marriage in the black community in the early 60s and 70s than there ever have been. But now we told we don't need each other. So they get their own money. They get educated. The next thing that happened was no more shows on TV to show a good foundation, a good family. You stop seeing the family made shows. You stop seeing, I don't even know if you want to call Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as a family made show, but it did show a husband and a wife in the home. You stop seeing shows like that. Then you go to daytime TV. You got Ricky Lake. You got Maury, you got Jerry Springer, Jenny Jones, Montel Jordan, all these shows that reflect on people's lives that was really real, but it was drama. Then they said, let's take it a step, not a notch up. Let's take it up a notch. Let's go to reality TV. Go to reality TV. You got The Real World. You got Flavor of Love. You got Hell Date. You got Blind Date. All this stuff started interesting the peaks and valleys of the community of like, oh, people like drama. People like to see people at their lowest point. It sells. So then, like I said, then they get us into music. They get the gangster rap going in the early 90s. Let's see. What's going on, Mike?
All right, Stacks. What's going on, bro? What's going on? What's the topic for the day, Brody?
Man, I'm breaking it down how women have been brainwashed that they don't need a man. And I got a couple points here you might want to add, but I'm gonna start it over for everybody that just came in a little bit, just since you came in. But the first thing I was talking about in the 60s, the welfare laws have changed. Well, came in saying the government saying if the man's not in the home, we're gonna pay you and take care of you to not have the man in the home. That was the first manipulation tactic to kind of keep the woman, keep the man, and stop building families. How you feel about that?
I think it's real fucked up, and I think more and more now, today, between that whole shit with society going on, and not to strike any or ruffle a few feathers, the government, you already see how that's turning out. The whole shit's in chaos, and you see motherfuckers getting all crazy, running up in the government buildings and shit. You know, I think honestly, more and more, we need more families to, if anything, stick together, rather than just cop out and take whatever government subsidies that the government is offering you, because anytime you're dealing with the government, it has a hefty cost.
Yep.
You know, you might even lose your freedom if you keep letting that shit go down. And then the fucked up thing about it is you chase that man off, and they're billing him for it, even though there's no damages to the family. The damages in the end to the woman, and most of all, that kid that he has, you know, with that woman, for her just, you know, allowing it to happen. And they get paid off of separating us, killing us off, all kinds of shit, man. A lot of people don't know that, though, in the private.
Yeah, we get to that. So the next thing I talked about, they start to make the funds, like the money equally, like the same money a man make, a woman was able to make, which is nothing wrong with a woman making her money, but they started making it as if, oh, you don't need him because you can go out and get the same job he get in same pay, equal value. So a lot of times it made women feel like, man, if I can go out and get this degree, do this and do that. And so a lot of times, so how you feel about that when they made the pays equal? Because at one point in society, a man will always earn more than a woman, but now it's equal, or actually women out earn men these days. How you feel about that?
I mean, a lot of that, for real, is offsetting the balance. I mean, I don't mind that a woman makes some money.
Me neither.
I don't mind that she makes more woman than the man. But I will say this: just because you make a certain amount of money and have an education or whatever the hell it is that you're studying, doesn't mean that you're better than everyone else. It doesn't mean that you have that common sense, because as quick as you made that money, you can lose that money or that high-paying job for being so high uppity, like you cannot fall. And that's where a lot of people made their mistakes at. You can make XYZ amount of money, but you also must be humble, and you also must be wise to keep that money and maintain.
No, man or woman. That's man or. I mean, that's man or woman, what you just said on that one.
Yeah.
And if you join on the other stream, we on YouTube, Stack 44. The numbers in the chat. If you want to call in and join in, ladies, I see y'all saying some things, or you could try to jump in my box and maybe we can hear you from there. But you can actually join the stream by calling in if you got something to add. But yeah, the money was a big thing because money is the root of all evil. Money will just enhance and show people who they really are. Because back in the day, women was shame upon if they didn't have a husband and they wasn't a helpmate or wasn't a housewife. That was trending back in the day. But now it really doesn't trend as much as likes. A woman care about having 1,000, 10,000 likes before they care about having a husband. So, I got a woman here saying, I don't need a husband. Okay, cool. That's on you. Everybody.
If she don't need a husband, she's going to die alone. She's going to be like, I don't need a husband. I don't need a man and everything like that. And then when that did come along, she'll be like, yeah, you know what? Looking at her husband ain't that bad. He'd be like, sorry, honey. I just only use you for sex. She's going to have to come to grips with that reality, especially when she gets a certain age and ain't nobody checking on her because she kept on riding on that carousel and didn't get off in time.
Yep. So the next thing after they got their money together, you start to see a shift. Like usually back in the day in the 60s, like when they start with the money and the and the welfare laws, you'll see it wasn't no internet. So things will take about 20 to 25 years before you see the decline. And around the 80s and shit, is when you start to see like lack of family shows, a lack of family, family things. Like you used to see Leave It to Beaver. It used to be all kind of family shows. Even to me, I feel like the Fresh Prince just showed that a presence of a mother and a father in the home. It's other the Partridge Family, whatever. It still was a motto for all communities, all races to see that there is life after high school and college to have a family and stuff like that. You start to see those shows decline when you get into the early 90s. So how you feel about that? That part was brainwashing as well. Because,
the Cosby.
Yeah, the Cosbys. I forgot about the Cosbys. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
That's why I got y'all on here to help me. The Cosby Show was something to show, we know what Bill Cosby is about right now, but it still was a show of showing us how a family should want to build. You feel me? And now we don't have shows like that. But the decline started, like I said, the late 80s, early 90s. And I'm gonna get into that in a minute. So how you feel about that though? Because you said the Cosby.
Man, the Cosby Show was, you know what I'm saying? The shit was on point, as well as Family Matters. They were showing how the families should be, even though they have their form of dysfunctionalism. But once all of that, let's separate the families and shit. That shit started going down in the 60s. And the 70s, it got even worse with child support, the court system. The court systems played a major role, and they always get, remember this, I told y'all this, they get incentives from the federal government to break families up. Because when you break families up, it causes a mass wide range of confusion. Once it causes a massive wide range of confusion, then you have contracts. You have contracts from different other agencies, child protective services, child support.
I need you to call in, lady. No,
psychological.
No, go ahead, Mike. My bad.
Yeah, psychological shit to brainwash the kids, bringing them in for evaluation. All of these have to deal with contracts and breaking up the families. And a lot of women don't understand. They look at it, me personally, in my opinion, they look at it as a form of independence. With other people cheering them on all to do the negative shit. But let me ask you this. We are those same people that encourage the woman to go ahead and help them stick together. Where are they at? They ain't happy. That's why they want to break other people up, because other misery loves company.
Yeah. So we gonna stay on topic because we're gonna get to all of that in a second, but I want to stay on topic. I know reality, like I said, TV had a big influence on people before the internet. That was the main thing. So what you saw on TV is what you want to mimic when you got older, when you grew up. And like I said, the TV, when they stopped putting family shows on TV, it started to decline. The marriage the marriages start to decline. People see what they see is what they do. That's just what it is. People, kids, everybody. And if it's a popularity of marriage, you will have marriage. If it's popularity of singleness, you will have singleness. That's just where it is. And hey, if you want to call in, I like what you just said. But if you want to call in, I want a women to call in and get a perspective, because I'm getting real deep here. And I really don't have time to read the comments, but I'm on Stack 44 YouTube. Go to that and find the number in the chat, and you can call in, sweetheart. All right, so moving on. The next thing was, after they stopped showing those shows, they started with this daytime TV crap. You got the Oprahs, you got the Montel Jordans. Well, Montel Jordan came on at night, but you got the Maury's, the Jerry Springers, the Ricky Lakes, all the drama on TV. And in that period, people used to rush home to watch Ricky Lake. I remember when I was in junior high school, people would be talking about the Ricky Lake show or what happened on Jerry Springer and Maury. You want to? Yeah, Jenny Jones. What else I got up there? Let's see. Yeah, I say Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, Jimmy Jones. How you feel about the brainwashing starting with the drama, watching other people's lives on these talk shows? That was another thing that brainwashed us for drama.
Man, I honestly feel that it was all one major distraction, because as quick as it was coming out, they were thinking of ways to, play that off, and fucking people were feeding into it, because it was a new form of dysfunction. It was energy. It was so-called, reality to everyone, when all it was entertainment, and that we all been had. We sadly had been had. They tricked us into believing that's the everyday shit that life is supposed to be about, when it's not. They were only doing it to boost their ratings and to stay on television to remain relevant. Without that TV, none of that shit would have happened. But we were so thinking about, okay, our lives are the TV. And to a lot of people to this very day, they are really fucking badly programmed into thinking that it's a way of life, when it's not. It's actually bullshit.
They're like, people are programmed by puppets, like entertainers and rappers and actors. They probably don't even live what they preach, but they do it to sell us so they can get rich for the producers and shit. Just like they said, Cardi B daughter don't even listen to her music. She don't allow her daughter to listen to the music. So if she don't allow her daughter to listen to the music, she basically putting on the front to get rich and then go live her regular life. A lot of times people don't understand that.
You also got to remember, too, she was an ex-stripper, so she's going to perform and jump through those hoops and shit.
Yeah.
Field, or a line through a field when they crack the whip and say, hey, bitch, go out there and you know what I'm saying, make it work. I want people to be brought in. I want people to live this lifestyle. You need to go out there and make us this money. And she'll do it.
Hold on, I got a call coming in. Hold on, we got a call coming in. Hello? Hello?
It's me in the chat.
What's going on?
Hey, I agree with what you're saying. I'm glad I found this channel. How are you today?
I'm good. We just breaking it all the way down, and I'm going to keep going on a list, and then I'll ask your perspective as a woman, and I'm glad you called tonight.
I definitely think it's a lot of brainwashing for women, and I just don't understand why. But when you go back, like how you've been going back with the talk shows, with the TV shows, reality shows, everything is trying to break us down, break up the family structure, especially in the. I mean, are you making this racial? Is it for the black community?
It's going to tend to the black community, but I don't like to put it in the topic of black or whatever, because sometimes YouTube get these hate groups come in and start tripping.
Okay, well, yeah, breaking the family structure, period, because you had this whole show about teen moms. What's that about? Yeah,
we're going to get to that in a second, because that was on my list too. So, we about to finish up on the daytime TV stuff. That was started before reality TV, because it's been a shift, because, how did we get here? Like, even I was born in the 80s. I had to do, history is so important to to your just your family history, just history and period. But a lot of times I didn't know about the welfare system until I did my research. And a lot of times these kids that's growing up now, they need to know how we got here this social media age. And this is how we got here because the daytime TVs and stuff like that. So I used to know, like I said, I know people used to run home to watch Ricky Lake and talk about it at school the next day when I was in junior high school. How do y'all feel? Any because that was imprinting us and we didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Drama was imprinting us as if it became entertainment. Did y'all have some shows that y'all really want to watch when y'all was younger, like Jerry Springer or anything pops out? What's your name, young lady?
My name is Monique.
Okay, just give me a name. It don't matter.
I prefer Mo, but my name is Monique.
All right, I'm gonna start with Mike, and then we'll go to Mo. Anything popped out to you, Mike, that was just real toxic or drama or a show that you was hooked on and then you realized later like this shit was not even good for me?
Yeah, I was hooked on the fucking Jerry Springer shit, but then after I realized that the shit was all staged, and I'm just like, yo, why the fuck was I even watching this shit, man? Like, the shit rotted my brain. Like, it was like waves, microwaves, because you would never really see that kind of shit on regular TV. Like, this happened straight after they started censoring movies, and then it came down to the point where they didn't even play movies at all on regular TV. And then came the entertainment with the shows and shit.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. That's the next thing after daytime TV. So, Mo, any talk shows that you used to watch and then you like had to take a step back later down in life and look like, damn, I was watching some drama? Any like Ricky Lakes or anything that you was watching?
Like Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones, Maury, all of this is like, especially when they used to have the Teen Gone Wild type stuff. Like, look at this.
So all right, so yeah, so then moving on. Then after the daytime drama, daytime TV, it showed that people can be deluded off of drama, off of sometimes it was real TV, sometimes it was stage TV. Then they came with the reality TV. And then the reality TV was what? The Real World, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Flavor of Love, The Love of Ray J, Teen Mom, Hell Date, Blind Date. All these things, all these shows that started, reality, it started like, okay, we see where we're going with this, that other people's reality is entertainment. And I'm gonna start with you, Mo. You said Teen Mom was one of the main ones that you kind of looked at back in the day, or was like that hurt the community.
I mean, that's one that I'm seeing now, and it's been on for a while, and it actually moved over to this platform right here. They said, well, if I can't get on MTV with my Teen Mom story, I'm gonna come on YouTube with my Teen Mom story, and they're making it like it's a new trend, like it's a new purse. It's not cute.
What you got to say, Mike? What reality show that you feel like kind of like hurt? And one thing I did leave out is the Real Housewives. And the Real Housewives of Atlanta and whatever, New Jersey, all that shit. That really diluted. I ain't gonna lie, that really diluted women because everything they was doing, they wasn't doing housewife things. They were doing level up housewife things, if you want to call it a word. And that kind of diluted a lot of women as well, that I can be this rich ass lady and don't do nothing and be called a housewife. But I just threw that one in. You got anyone that stick out for you, Mike?
Man, if I see shit like that, I'll just run in the opposite direction, run my ass off to escape from that kind of bullshit that they got going on. I don't fathom the kind of negativity and dysfunction. I try to run away from that shit. Once I see that shit, I turn the TV off and I be like, man, let me get back to my life. Like, no.
Anything stick out to you, Mo, about the reality TV besides the Teen Mom? Or you got anything to say about the Real Housewives? Did they even teach women how to be a housewife, that show?
Yes, it's interesting you mentioned the Real Housewives because, especially for Atlanta, I really only watch Atlanta and Potomac, but because they're really, a lot of them in Basketball Wives, it's like, it seemed like they came to this person or come up, well, especially like Flavor of Love. You come into these people so you can get a name for yourself. Not
Facts.
not to have a family structure and raise your kids together and have a family.
Facts. That definitely started, and if you think about it, that was this 20 women vetting for one man to kind of like clout chase. I think it started with The Bachelor, and then they got the idea to do Flavor of Love, and then when Flavor Flav kind of ran his course, then they went to The Love of Ray J, and it all had the same dynamic of a woman trying to vet for a man's attention, which is cool, but at the end of the day, it all was, like you said, it was all for you to make a name for yourself. They wasn't even worried about who the man truly was as a man. It was all about, I want to be known for this and known for that. So yeah, that definitely hurt. So I'm gonna move on from the reality TV aspect. The next point was the music. Now, the music, I feel like they started with the hip hop culture, but really before they started with the hip hop culture, they started with gangster music. Gangster music, what it did is it put the black man against the black man. It made gangster rap go against each other, and then you start to lose. You start to have black on black crime. You start having killings. You start to kill them. You start to kill the man. And so when they started the gangster rap, it made the streets and the communities and the urban areas more like to the point, like, you're not gonna punk me, I'll hurt you, whatever, shoot up your set, shoot up your whatever. It hurt the black community in the long run, because at the end of the day, it's always been more women on this earth than men. So if you start killing your man and men start going to jail for selling dope or killing people, it reflects that it's going to be a lot of single mothers, and that's just what it is. So that's the first topic I want to talk about. Do y'all want to add something to that before I keep going? Because we're gonna talk about this music thing. This gonna be a longer segment than anything else, because the music got us more than anything.
Talking about the music, how the music was
did you see? I'm just saying, did you see the early '90s of how the music took advantage of the black man and put the black man against each other?
Yes.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So, like I said, it started to black on black crime started to be very heavy early '90s. They started making movies like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. Movies like that was really real for a lot of people, and they was acting on it. You know, like Ricky got killed in the movie. He had a baby with a young lady, and then if he's dead now, she's a single mom. You know, and it kind of painted the picture that after the gangster rap got a little bit too aggressive. Yeah, Deep Cover, that was another movie. Those movies got real aggressive, and that music got real aggressive. The next tactic I feel like they did was, like I said, the single mom. So then they started saying, well, women like bad boys. Women will line up for the gangster rappers, the dope dealers, the bad boys. Do women actually value husbands, or do they value the bad boy? So they was like, let me take a step further. Let us go ahead and degrade women on music and videos. Then they got away with that. Then it was something to be a video vixen. How you guys feel about that? Because that was a shift to start eliminating each other, make single moms, then go ahead and at the same time start degrading women. Women accepted it, and then they lined up to be video vixens. How you feel about that, Mike?
Man, I think honestly, that shit's it's another form of programming, negative programming. You see, if you figure it like this goes back, not to be racist or nothing like that, this goes back as far as slavery, Willie Lynch letters. Now, I don't mean to be like, going into past history, make it sound boring, but if you destroy the family household, separating the person that's the strongest which is the father, the leader, the breadwinner, the person that's supposed to be guiding the horse. I mean, the person that's supposed to be the horse before the cart. What they're trying to do is they're trying to put the cart before the horse, or just completely eliminate the horse. That way, the cart goes nowhere. And like the cart is supposed to be the mother and the children.
And
but if you don't have no horse pulling it in the proper direction, guiding it in the proper direction, the cart is not going to go anywhere. The cart is eventually going to stop moving, and everything in it will be torn to shreds. It'll be a waste.
Facts.
The cart will just sit there and rot. So that's what they want. They want that kind of rhetoric. They want that kind of shit to go on, because when they do that, it allows others to get ahead that are hip to the game, and for the ones that still need to learn, they're going to be stuck there. Because they go for that shit.
You got anything of what was like, Mo, do you got anything about the video vixens, or when men start degrading women in songs, and women just ate it up as if, oh, you know, he's just rapping, but then they chasing after these men that's got all these explicit lyrics. Did you see a shift in that in the community when that started happening?
Yes, and then it reminds me again of the women that went out for the reality show, like on Video Vixen. She was, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, that wasn't a good image. And then they always talk about, oh, well, you're degrading women. Well, you're degrading yourself. You're dancing in a video. Nobody's forcing you to go in there and do that.
Facts. Because they got away with the degrading of women and showing negative attention, and then they were like, well, I can get rich by selling my soul or just being negative. So a lot of times women feel like, oh, well, I don't need a man. If I just use a man to degrade myself and get rich off of it, then I don't need a man. But at the end of the day, my bad, but at the end of the day is, you know, we'll get to the other things in a minute, but at the end of the day, when a woman degrades herself or accept a man degrading her, she sold out just for that dollar. But at the end of the day, that was going to be her legacy for the rest of her life. Look at, what's the chick name? The Superhead chick. Her whole legacy, her whole life is going to be Superhead. No matter what she do in her life moving forward, she's always going to be judged for being, Corinne Stephens is always going to be judged for being the video vixen, the Superhead Matro, all that.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you know, what the words they say now, she's for the streets. You find that out real fast. You know, we're gonna get to that part too. I don't want to skip and jump into today so quick, because we want people to see the brainwashing, how it took place from each generation all the way, because we're right here on 90s music, because 90s music and 90s videos and Up All Night and what's that shit called on BET Uncut, all that stuff had imprint on us to what's happening now. That's what's happening now on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. All that shit destroyed our mind and brainwashed us to the point that a lot of women feel like, oh, I don't need a man because men value sex. Men make money. I can get money for sex. My point, that's my point getting to it, but we'll get to it in a second. Y'all want to add anything on that before I add the next thing about music?
I just want to say one last thing about the 90s songs. At the time of me listening to it, because I did listen to a lot of 90s music, I didn't realize the hit of the subliminal messages, I guess. But listening to 90s music today makes me realize, wow, they promoted a lot of cheating. Like, oh, look at this. Go tell your girl, or I don't care if you have a girl, come get with me. And with the men were saying, well, baby, you know, girl, he ain't treating you right, come get with me. I mean, it's just...
Yo, what about Adina Howard?
Mm-hmm.
I know y'all cats remember that shit. Adina Howard, I want a roughneck in the morning, a roughneck in the evening. I need a roughneck brother to satisfy. You see that shit. Like, she's encouraging that shit.
Encouraging getting choked and all this stuff, all this angry sex and all that crap. So yeah, that's a good point, Mike, because we're gonna move on now. Let's talk about the down in a man in music. And that was a perfect time for y'all to talk about that. And I got a couple of songs, and it's all the down in the man in music started in 1992. The first song that actually went viral, and it stayed on the top. And I didn't know this today until I did the research. It stayed on the top 50 list for 20 years. The first song that jumped it off was No Scrubs.
Oh shit.
That was made in 1992. No Scrubs. No Scrubs was the first song that actually put the black man on blast but that's after all the gangster rap, all the black on black crime, killing each other, creating single moms. But now we're scrubs because we all fell into this trap. But that was the first song that jumped it off. And then on that same album, they had So I Creep. Yeah. So they basically saying, if you ain't good enough and you're a scrub, I'm gonna creep and go fuck the next man. Mm-hmm. So, and it's funny how this go full circle, because as you see, Chili right now to this day can't find a husband.
And then they came out with No Pigeons by the Sporty Thieves to counteract that message.
Yeah. But y'all got anything to add on this one right now? I'm gonna go down the list, but let's talk about No Scrubs and Creep. Those were two main songs that actually destroyed. It basically said a man ain't good enough for you, which really women are the gatekeepers of sex. You don't deal with a man unless he got his shit together. So to announce it, to keep it going, which it wasn't bad to say what your standards are, but at the end of the day, women was making bad choices with men, but then still calling them scrubs. You can't, like you said, the cart can't come before the horse. You can't expect a man that wasn't leading you, wasn't on the horse pulling the cart, but he was in the back of the cart with you. Then you tell him to go lead me. You shouldn't open your legs to a man that didn't have his shit together. The decision making process was very poor, and that song made a lot of women that actually did take that message the right way have boundaries, and then the women that actually made the poor decisions fall back on the scrub part, like you're a scrub, but no, you had sex with that scrub. So it's crazy. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. With this, talking about brainwashing, I hate that a song like that has to be out here amongst people that don't have they can't form their own opinion, because I feel like as if you're a man, if you're not a scrub, that song shouldn't faze you at all.
Exactly. But it did give women the knowledge when they made a bad choice in a man to go back and call him a scrub, but then you open your legs and got a baby with this fool.
Exactly.
That shit crazy though. That shit is delusional as fuck, in my honest opinion, because how you gonna say no scrub, or I don't want no dude with a car and all this other shit, and then they just like, yo, I want a roughneck. You know what I'm saying? And then Apache came out with the song, I want a gangster bitch. I need a gangster boogie. You know what I'm saying? It was just all kinds of backward shit going back and forth. But we claim we want better. But if we knew better, would we do better?
Mm-hmm. And then,
you know what I'm saying? The knowledge is there.
Then on that same album, the Creep song came. So basically, she basically saying you could keep him was basically saying you keep a blue pill brother, a beta male provider, and you creep out the back door with the alpha male, the bad boy. That's basically what it was saying, that whole song. And keep it on a down low, because if you a woman that got your shit together, you don't need a man for nothing. You don't have to creep. You can say, you're not providing, you're not doing what I need you to do. I'm about to go over here and deal with this other guy. That's when I felt like you had your cake and eat it too music right there. That song right there, You Creep. Y'all want to add anything on that one? How it influenced people to start cheating?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, yes, I just totally agree with that. I totally agree that those songs, didn't realize at the time, but they definitely promoted Tina, again, breaking down any type of family. First, you got to start with the couple, then start your family, and they're like, well, no, we're not going to do that because I'm over here with this person behind your back. And like you just said, you don't have to do it behind this person's back. You just say,
you're not doing
it's not working out, I'm going to leave.
Mm-hmm. But they so independent, but we're going to get to those songs too in a second. So, but so this album happened in 92. A lot of times it's a rebuttal for something that came out. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in 93, Salt and Pepper came out with a song was What a Man. And to me, What a Man was more it was a good song, but the negative song of No Scrubs didn't even compare a year before to trying to clean up. Salt and Pepper was trying to clean up like What a Man. I need a man. And y'all talking about Scrubs over here in 92. We talking about Man over here in 93. And that song, some people don't even know what that, never heard that damn song because they kind of brushed it under the rug because What a Man is basically putting a man on Front Street, just basically saying a man, he's the horse and that's the cart. But how y'all feel? Did y'all remember that song at all? What a Man. I'm gonna start with Mo because that was a song that make a woman want a man, but it really went underneath the radar. How you feel about that?
Yes, I remember that song. It's a good song. It reminded me also of the brother Angie Stone. Like there are some songs that could promote and appreciate men and what they can do and have a role in your life. I don't know why it's not going to be as promoted or supported as the No Scrubs. And again, that's your own. I feel like it's your fault if you're dealing with Scrubs. But anyway, go ahead, Mike.
You remember that song, What a Man, Mike?
Yeah, I remember that shit. Like that's the song right there that was getting a lot of chicks pregnant during the summertime when I was still in high school. That shit was getting a lot of chicks pregnant. I'm like, that's the generation before my generation. It was promoting a lot of positive energy, and like you said, it was short-lived. I stayed down in NY. They played that shit for about a month, and then it just fucking disappeared, and they went right back to the No Scrubs and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they promoting this agenda, hard body for the negativity. They're like, man, you know what? Fuck this shit. No Scrubs. Then the Sporty, like that before, Sporty Thieves came out behind that to, like, put out, like, you know, like a hit back, like a clap back. That What a Man, that shit was getting a lot of chicks pregnant. I'm gonna be real on that shit. I think that's how my sister got pregnant.
Man.
That shit. By the nigga that she was with at the time, and my cousins and shit.
Yeah, and then that's the sad part too. Like you said, people got pregnant off of What a Man, and that was to promote a good man, not to trap a man. And the women took that shit and took it to the other level. Like, if I find a good one, I'm gonna get pregnant. No, you supposed to treat him good, make you the wife you marry before you carry. And I just did the post yesterday on my video where I did a video on what's wrong with this post, and I seen a young lady posted, all I want to do is make money, be a good mother, and be loyal to a man. And I'm like, if you marry before you carry, you won't even have that type of post, you know, because at the end of the day, the first thing on your agenda shouldn't be making money for survival if you would have got a husband first. You know, a lot of times when I posted, did that video, I got a little push. Well, I don't say pushback. A woman try to break it all down, but I'm basically saying at the end of the day, if you would have married before you carry, even if you got divorced, a man know that you was not going to produce no type of children unless you have a ring on it. And a lot of times, you know, it's unfortunately, that's why single moms, it's kind of hard for single moms to jump back, because a lot of men know that you're going to value your child, your money, and then him, and he don't want to be third with the marriage laws, and knowing that he can lose half of his resources if he pair bond or get with you and it don't work out. And it really don't come down to the woman and man. It come down to the child accept the man, be honest. But a lot of people don't think that. We'll jump into that. That's a little tangent, but I had to, that's kind of how I started with this topic of this video is that post that happened. I touched on that in my last video. If y'all didn't see it, I don't know if y'all checked that video out. But back to the music.
That's the first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned What a Man, even though I felt like it was going to go over some people's heads and it was going to go straight to, okay, get me a child's father. Like Mike said, it got a lot of chicks pregnant. So I'm like, okay, so y'all missed the point, really. Yeah,
they missed the point. They were so brainwashed, they missed the point. Like, okay, it basically was just like alpha male strategy say women vet out a good man for a provider and for genes. Like they look at a man and he looks a certain way. They want to imprint that and have his baby. So a lot of times that song What a Man kind of made women feel like, okay, I just need him to plant a seed, not for the long haul. You know what I'm saying, Mike? How you feel, Mike, about that?
I mean, usually when chicks think about that short-term shit, they're forever going to be short-term and then eventually turn to shit because they've invested their time and their effort unwisely. They're not as critical to say, okay, if I have a baby by this man, what would my future look like with this man since I'm going to have a baby by him? Furthermore, do I see myself getting married? All the other chicks that I've met, that I've actually dealt with in the past, that had kids, no disrespect,
Golden
I'm
child.
not looking forward to marrying her. That's not in my program. I'm not going to marry you if the relationship before your relationship and your marriage didn't work out. I'm going to see how you are first as far as the relationship. And marriage shit is dead. Like, I'm not trying to do all of that. And it's sad because it's like I got to think about my resources before, putting the cart before the horse. I'm not going to do that shit. There's just certain things that, as a man, I don't do.
Facts. Ain't nothing wrong with having how you feel, because people gotta understand it's hard. It's harder for a man to bounce back in society if he take a chance and lose than a woman. A woman at least has if she utilize the system, she can utilize the government if she actually had a baby by a man for him to still be there and supportive. And a lot of times it is women that are very prideful that won't take the government assistance, and that's kind of a good thing to commend, but that's a bad thing to set yourself up, because you set yourself up to be out here alone when that man laid down with you. And that's why I always talk about I frown on single moms without no accountability, because what you got to think about the next man coming in. He got to pick up a video game that's already played, and a lot of dudes don't want to do that. So that's a good point. But we'll get into that stuff in a minute. We still on this music. So I kind of made I know that Roughneck song, I think that was made in 94. But I don't know. But I took a big decline because I couldn't think of no other songs between the night after 93 of What a Man, and then I went to 97. The Erykah Badu Tyrone. I don't know if y'all had any other songs before that besides Roughneck that you just brought up, but the Tyrone one was basically, to me, that song was more of a woman with an education, got her shit together, and then she's dealing with a guy that she's got to build a bear, and then she got to carry his ass everywhere she go and pay for him and do this and do that. And at the end of the day, the song shouldn't even happen if you have boundaries. How y'all feel about that? Because if you look back on that, she did that to herself. Am I right? I'm gonna start with Mo.
Okay, I would say yes. When I hear that song and that line about out there for the cousins or whatever it is, and I'm thinking, okay, first of all, if you're going out with this man that apparently can't take you, you're taking him and his friends, that was your choice. But if that's your choice and that's what you wanted to do, why are you going back complaining about it? Why are you beefing about it? If you know it's something to beef about, don't even do it. You can say, well, okay, babe, I guess we're gonna just have to stay home tonight because I'm not gonna take out you and your 6th cousin.
How you feel about that song, Mike? Was it the anthem of a woman being independent, got her own money, and she said she gonna deal with this dude no matter what, and it make herself look stupid?
Yeah, like basically for an individual like that, she's trying to make something work that's unfixable. It's like driving a lemon law car. You know, you get in it, the car is on fire, it's not going nowhere fast when you hit the gas. You have only yourself but to blame because you looked into that package deal seeing who this individual is rather than just say, look, you either get your shit together and get back to me or we just go our own separate ways. That's it. And that's how I start to deal with a lot of other people too. When I deal with them, whether if I was in a relationship or dating wise, if I see some shit there that I don't like, I'll voice my concerns, and if it's still there, I leave. I've got a very low tolerance for shit like that. Like, if, like you said before, you can't necessarily deal with a person that's not as equally as yoked as you, because all you're gonna do is you're not gonna be so focused on the relationship. You're just gonna be focused on fixing things, and you shouldn't have to fix things constantly if you're trying to move and progress forward towards getting towards the goal.
Is that what, like, can I ask you two a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding that song, I'm thinking if it was reversed and you were going out with your lady and, you know, she wasn't paying, I mean, would you take her and her 6 cousins out because they didn't have money?
Fuck no. I know I had a chick last week when I went out. She was like, hey, can you buy? At first, it was like, I was like, let's get a drink. And she was with her friends or whatever. And they was all like, you know, me and her was going to pull to the bar. But then she was like, can you just buy everybody around? I'm like, really?
Oh, no.
Really? You going to just, you know, you got to let me offer that type shit. You don't just tell me I need to buy you and your friends drinks. So, you know, that didn't really sound good. That sounded like a finesse type of move. So I was like, kind of pull back and talking to her. But it is what it is. All right. So
I've had situations like that too, where I was eating and she wanted me to bring some food home for her and her friends, and I hear her homegirls like, you know, coaching her on what to say. Oh, tell them to bring some home for us. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, you got dogs at home or some shit? I say, yo, I hear them bitches barking in the back for food and shit. They better go out there and fucking play lady in the trance and go get that pussy out somewhere else to go ahead and get some food. Stop fucking with them dirtball niggas that, you know, that don't want to feed them. I know you had dogs at the house. You got dogs at the house? No. She was like, no, I don't understand what you mean. I said, do you have dogs at the house? Are the bitches barking in the background hungry? But then they need to go outside and go and get that kibble from the niggas that they fucking with. Sorry, I can't do it. I'm not going to.
Damn. Which brings me to the next song after Tyrone. In 1999, 2 years later, came Bills, Bills, Bills. Bills, Bills, Bills by Destiny Child. This one right here, it kind of like, to me, it was like they was contradicting themselves on that album because they did have that song Say My Name on there too. But if a man paying your bills, you need to say his fucking name, okay? That's all I gotta say on that one. But Bills, Bills, Bills came to the point of, to me, that was a culturated prostitute. Basically saying, if you're gonna have sex with me and be with me, you pay my bills and I'll be here. If you don't pay my bills, I'm going out the door to the next man. How do you guys feel about that song, Bill, Bill, Bill? I'll start with Mo since she's a lady. And at the same time, that was a woman's anthem for a while. So how do you feel about that song?
Go ahead, Mo.
Start with Mike and come back to me.
All right. She wasn't expecting that bomb. What's up, Mike?
I mean, if she felt like I had to pay her bills and little shit like that, I'd have to fucking straight up dismiss her. And the main reason why I say that is because, like I said before, if she ain't equally yoked and she ain't bringing shit to the table, I gotta go. That's the problem. I'm focused more towards the goal, not a piece of ass if she's thinking about me paying her bills while she saves her money and spend it on shit that, you know, she don't need or worse. I've seen chicks do dudes like this. They be like, hey, I need for you to pay my bill. Hey, can you help me pay this? Can you help me pay that? And these motherfuckers simps be over here just paying away. Like, and the song popped up in my head by 3 6 Mafia, Pussy Got You Hooked. And these dudes, they just be paying everything else while she's off with the next dude. Doing what she wants on your money that you gave her.
So
you thought it was for a bill, but it was actually for the next dude to put money in his pocket. So he's pimping you, and she's pimping you.
So go back. I want you to go back to when you heard the song in 1999. Go back 22 years ago and tell me how you felt about the Bill song, Mike. I know you talking about today, but talk about Bills in 1999. I'm looking like I was in college. And I was in college. But no, I was in high school. And when that Bills came out, and to me, like Bills, like I said, I felt like it was a more of a culture-weighted prostitute. Like you basically, you do for me, I do for you. I was young. I was still, junior high school, whatever. And I'm looking like, well, maybe a senior going into I was senior. And Bills, that song was like, I didn't really recognize it like that because I was still young and my parents, I came from a 2-family home. So I was just thinking like, oh, maybe women out here, they need somebody to pay their bills. But for me to take it back, like, damn, that shit kind of deep, So how you feel about that, Mike? When you first heard it in 99, did you? Because at first, I guess we didn't really catch it being young, but it was brainwashing the women more than it was brainwashing the man. And
go ahead.
How you feel, Mo, about the song Bills? Was it something that a woman took advantage of and say, look, well, if he pay my bills, I'll deal with him. Then we could chill. Because when at the line, you pay my bills, then we can chill. And now it's Netflix and chill.
But I think I'm more analytical, so I'm thinking, especially when that video first started, what did she say? Oh, here, take my keys. You need to get your own car. So first, she's letting him do everything, use up his credit cards, drive his car around with not filling up the tank. Then she talked about you on the phone calling your mom and everybody that you know, just thinking about using my phone and calling whoever that you could think of on my phone bill. But I'm thinking, again, you're letting him take advantage and then you turn around complaining about what he's doing over kid. I think, again, like Mike said, evenly yoked. I just feel like, do you have the ability, even if they took it to the next level, talking about, okay, yeah, I want you to pay my bills if you want to be with me. But I'm thinking, do you even have the ability if you're going to be using up all that stuff? Like, that's what, she got him using up everything. Can you can you fill the tank back up since you're driving around in the car all day? But I know people looked at it like, yeah, girl, that's right. Anything you do. But on another note, I wonder, are you going to go up to the level of the ones that's saying, well, I make so much money, I'm so independent, I'm taking care of him. Did we get to that point today?
Yeah, we're going to get to that point. That's coming up right next. Okay. So the Bills song came out in 99. Say My Name was on that same video, but you want me to say your name and I'm paying your bills. You say my name. That's what I think it should have said. But that didn't make no sense to me when I look back at it.
I think that if you say my bills, I'll definitely say your name. I appreciate it.
But they were so deluded back then. They was like, pay my bills, and then the next song say my name. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. If you join in on the other stream, we're on Stack 44 on YouTube. If you want to call in, we got more room for people to call in. Stack 44 YouTube. The numbers in the chat or in the description. So just letting other people know that if you want to come on in and talk, and talk about this topic. So yeah, so after 1999, after that album, the next album Destiny Child had was Independent. I mean, the next hype song was Independent. And I'm gonna show y'all after Independent, that shit ruffled a lot of feathers, and I'm gonna get to what they did in 2004 after Independent. But Independent was an anthem for about 3-4 years, and it went on for a minute. And it kind of like basically said, I don't need no man for shit. I'm gonna get my money. I'm gonna drive this. I'm gonna drive that. Because as women at that time, women started to try to drive the same type of cars men get. They stopped getting girly cars. They started getting man cars. They use they got their degrees and shit. And really, if you think about it, a woman with money to a man, we don't see her money. We see her outside appearance. It's good that she may, like Mike said, be equally yoked to you when she meets you. But at the end of the day, we don't care about a woman's money. We care about her fitness, her communication, her value for God, stuff like that. They don't think about that. But that kind of the independent stuff, the independent song kind of diluted a woman's mind for like, if I can do everything a man could do, then I can pull in any type of man I want, which that's not the case. It's more physical for us than just being independent and rah this and rah that. So I'm gonna let Mo start because she almost brought the song before it was time to talk about. But how you feel about the independent song? How did it affect the community?
It's interesting that you ask about that song because I really hate that movement. Well, yeah, as far as it messing up the community, yes, because again, it makes you feel like, I don't need no man for nothing. I disagree. I don't like the Miss Independent woman, period.
So you say you didn't like that movement at all?
No, I mean, again, because, I think that you had half of the women being told, stand on your own 2 feet, you don't need, but I feel like just because you can stand on your own 2 feet doesn't mean you don't need a man. So that's the part that they're Xing out. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own.
Facts, because I know that winter time when you out there pumping that fucking gas in the cold, you like, oh shit, what my boyfriend? Hell, or going to the Jiffy Lube, change your oil, shit like that, certain things. Or I got this damn fire alarm, the battery that went bad and it's twerping all through the fucking house. I need a man to change his battery.
If your tire blow out, you wouldn't go out there and change the tire? No.
Oh shit, she gonna be like, I'm independent. I got AAA.
I got AAA, independent AAA.
Get all of that chunky shit. I found women like that have that so-called I'm independent role. That is a shout out, a cry out for help, saying, help me, God, please. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. Because it could be the smallest thing. A rat in the house. Oh my God, I'm a mouse. I'm like, damn, these little motherfuckers got power over them like that? Yeah, I'm gonna start pulling more mice out my pocket and shit. I know exactly how to get her. And it'd be the smallest thing that'll trip them up. Because they claim their independence, but it doesn't compare to common sense and experience.
Yeah.
When you have common sense and experience and you're doing things a certain way, you're making moves a certain way, you make less mistakes.
Facts.
Their independence is a shout out of the insecurities. Of what they're trying to deflect of what is really on the outside, but they're holding that shit in. It's really on the inside, but they're deflecting what's on the outside. They're saying, I'm independent. I don't need nobody. I don't need you. I don't need you, and I don't need you. And then once their shit is set on fire, and what I mean, their whole situation is set on fire, and they're in that burning building, the first thing they're going to say is, help me, God. Help me. And he's going to be like, hey, I tried to help you by sending everybody in your way to put out the fire in that building, and you said you were independent, so they all put their buckets down and walked away. Now you got to burn for it. And they learn that lesson every time. They say that they're independent. They burn in some kind of way. where it'll always be in their mind that somewhere along the line they fucked up, but they won't admit it, but they know they did.
Facts. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I also think some women shout that out from the mountaintop because they couldn't depend on anybody else, especially if you had these 3, 4. Well, I don't want to. I mean, no shades if you're a single mom, but if you have to do it on your own, okay, that's fine. You don't have a choice to do what you have to do.
But you don't have to.
You know, deep down, you want help. Do you really want to raise 4 kids alone for the rest of your life?
Yeah, you're right. And you don't have to broadcast what your responsibility should be in your life. And that's a big thing that you shouldn't have to respond. You shouldn't have to broadcast of your responsibility. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you should, as a man, you should do certain manly things. As a woman, you should do woman things. You don't have to run around and say that, because at the end of the day, when you say that, deep down, like Mike said, deep down when you go lay down in bed at night, the validation that you knowing that you don't have a man hurts you in the long run, knowing that you actually you thrive for a man, which is about to get real juicy in a second. So I'm gonna jump onto the next topic in a second. I'm gonna let's finish this independent, and I'm gonna tell you how they try to clean it up in 2004. Destiny Child, how they try to clean it up. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh man, it's funny that you say that, because I remember there was this movie I was watching, and you know, this person was trying to be independent, and they just kept on screaming, "Niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit," like, you know, saying it while they're laying in their bed. Niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit. And I'm like, damn, you're saying that so many times that niggas ain't shit, but now you're wearing it as a badge of honor, but it's actually a disgrace. You know, people could be an outward success, saying that they're independent, but in reality, in private, behind closed doors, at the end of the day, they're a private failure.
Facts. And that's what a lot of people do. They get a lot of insecure people. What they do is they get a lot of things that's name brand to try to cover up their insecurities, man or woman. And really, women are the biggest consumers in the world when it comes to clothes and buying things and stuff like that. And a lot of times it shows a lot of insecurities in women because they buy things that make them feel good for the day. Women go shopping just to make themselves feel good. Stuff like that. But at the same time, it could be destroying if she's not doing her finances right. Because I'm not against a woman shopping. But if you shopping and you continue to pull up debt, and then when it's time for you to pair bond and find a nice man that want to deal with you, then he look at your credit and look at your debt. He ain't gonna want to deal with you. He gonna like, damn, you a walking bill. What I'm getting out of it? Sex? That's not enough. So, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of people, they take their insecurities, they buy a bunch of things and think that validation of buying things is gonna make them feel good. It's just like a drug. Eventually it's going to run dry. Once you buy something and you get used to having things, then it doesn't really mean nothing in the long run. But sometimes that's hypergamy, though. You got to stop being on hypergamy is a big thing for a woman to master and know her capabilities of hypergamy. Because if you don't know your capabilities of hypergamy as a woman, it will destroy you. And that's why women mature faster than men in the first place, because women are offered sex from men from that since they were 12 years old. So they know how to get what they want from men, period. And sometimes the daddy around start with the daddy when they was younger, when they was a little girl, how they'll bat their eyes and look sad to get what they want from their daddy. So they learn how to play their daddy before they learn how to play any other man in the world. How you feel about that, Mike? Is that true, Mo?
Man, that's real shit. That's real shit, because when they do that and they don't master their skills of hypergamy, they basically destroy themselves in the long run. Like a majority of the time, you don't have to worry about them fumbling and dropping the ball. Like one example that I've seen before, I was dealing with this chick, right? Now, we used to deal with each other in the past. I was dealing with her and shit like that, and I said, okay, cool. Now, me and her, she wanted to, you know, see what's up with me or whatever. So we got back to the crib, you know, chill out, Netflix and chill. You already know what that means. What happened right there, smash and whatnot. So she's like, all right, let me go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, do you. She went into the bathroom. I saw the phone. Phone went off. And I'm like, okay, phone was going off and shit. It went off a text message. And it said, hey, baby, I can't wait to eat that cooch. And all this other shit. And I was just like, wow, this dude is being led on. And I just got finished smashing. Should I say something? Nah, he can have it. Then he went, and she didn't master her hypergamy, and she said she got dumped by her boyfriend, but she didn't tell me she had a boyfriend. And I was just like, oh well, and I left that shit alone. She didn't master that shit, so now she's forever alone, and she's in her 30s.
And we're gonna get to that in a minute. Now, if you join in on the other stream, if you want to come on in, we're on Stack 44 YouTube. Jump off that, jump over here, and if you want to join the conversation, you can call. And the number is in the description and in the chat. So Stack 44 YouTube if you want to join the conversation, ladies or man, whoever. All right. So after that, Destiny Child tried to clean up Miss Independent or the Independent song, which went on for 3 years. Uh-oh, we got a call. Let's see. I hope there ain't no troll. I'm going to check first. Hello? Hello? All right, hold on. Let me get you in there. What's going on, Camille?
It's funny how you bring up this topic. It's really funny how you bring up this topic. Like, a lot of those women, we do need men, but at the same time, like, we can't always do by it ourselves. But for what I'm stating is that in this state, what you're saying is that as for like. For people I know, like they tend to have other people with them for no reason,
Yeah.
And they always looking for support, emotional support. So that's why, as when I got to know my other friend, she was a single mom, and I just left her alone now for good.
Facts.
And it's like, yeah.
Facts.
You wasting my time, as a friend. Like, I was her friend, but like, you were just wasting my time and everything. You could have just told me, like, hey, I don't want to be friends. Just leave me alone,
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, but for the most part, yeah, she didn't. She's a single mom. She asked me for man support, and I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Are you really kidding me? And then it's funny because my cousin, he was telling me, she said the problem is, he's telling me the problem is that she ain't got her stuff together all the way, her shit.
Yeah, it'd be a crowd for help at a certain time, and these songs like we talking about have deluded women to feel like I can get a man to pay my bills, say my name. I don't need no scrubs. I can go creep. All this shit is really what we're seeing in today's society, and that's what I'm talking about. Brainwashing came from the music, and so I'm gonna move on to the next song that I feel like that when Destiny Child, after they did Independent, Destiny Child in 2004, and I remind you in 2000.
That's the song. That was a song back then.
Yeah, but that messed women head up, that Independent song. But in 2004, something happened that gave Beyonce and Destiny Child a shift. And you remember her father and her mother was her management. And Solange was pregnant in 2004. And they came with the song Cater to You. Mm-hmm. And the same song on that album was...
What's your name, sweetheart?
Huh?
Is it a girl? Is it the next woman online? Yeah.
Yeah, it's another one.
What's your name? Mo.
Hold on, let me get to the point real quick. Camille. So Solange was pregnant in 2004, and they came with the album to have a different image for the single motherhood, to cover up her single mother, which was her sister, which, like I said, her daddy, her mother was her management back then. And the song was Cater to You. And another song on that album was Soldier, which they had Solange in the video with T.I., Lil Wayne, and Solange was pregnant with her baby daddy. So basically, it went from independent to I want to cater to a man because my sister is pregnant. Anybody want to elaborate on that? Did y'all see that coming? Did y'all actually realize that's what Destiny? I'm gonna start with Mike. Did you realize that was what they was doing, Mike? Because they went. The next song was after Independent was Cater to You. They went from Independent to Catering to a Man. How the fuck that happened?
Yeah, I think the first part about that is that was like karmic debt. You know, they've been putting out all of that negativity, all of that negative shit out there. And what ended up happening was she ended up getting pregnant, but now she's looking for the cleanup guy. She's saying cater to you, like, okay, think about yourself now. And I'm like, if she would have thought about herself as well as the cause and effect and the consequences of her actions, she should have did a lot better than just get pregnant. Now she's by herself. That's something to think about right there. A lot of these chicks don't think about that shit. And a lot of these people, a lot of these men don't think about that shit. You got to think of the cause and effect. Most of all, you got a plan B. See to me that she didn't have no plan C because she had that plan C already in her with the plan D, if you know what I mean. She wasn't thinking about that. She had that plan C and that plan B. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't thinking about the plan I, which means investment, invest in yourself, invest in your future.
Facts.
You know, they don't think about that shit.
So I'm gonna.
You know what? It's funny. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny with how you say things like that because it's very true what you just said. Because most of these females, and that's what I learned from the point of me growing up. That I learned that be independent, do what you need to do financially. Like I don't expect a man to say, okay, how much money you got, but I'm not there because I'm here for myself. And a lot of women right now are looking for validation or entertainment from other people when they need to validate themselves.
Facts. Mo, you got anything to add on how they try to clean it up and went to the Cater to You song and the Soldier song, but people wasn't realizing Solange was pregnant, so they tried to change up the message from that album?
I think that might have been the beginning of when women said, okay, we're so independent, we're going to cater emotionally, financially, well, especially financially. But
they basically pushed the man away for 3-4 years, and then now they want to cater to somebody.
Right.
So that's basically what really history lesson. That's really what happened.
So is it because the baby was in the mix and you can't do this by yourself?
Yeah, basically that's basically what they was trying to do because now it looked bad on them. If you really go back, because back in the day in 2004, we really didn't really have social media like that. We might have MySpace or some stupid shit like that, but it wasn't trendsetting to the point that changing the culture. So, but at the end of the day, to cover themselves, they try to come out with that album to save the image of their family with Solange being pregnant. So they came with the Cater to You and I Need a Soldier. Like I said, if you go back to I Need a Soldier, she was even in the video pregnant as fuck with a dude right behind her and talking about I Need a Soldier. So a lot of times, people don't see the message of what they was trying to do and how they was trying to clean up their image of being independent for so long, and then all of a sudden they want to cater to the man and have soldiers and shit. So
that's what I said. It's because you're independent and you can do this. That doesn't mean that you really want a soldier and you want help with your baby. You want help with things, even if it's to open up the can of whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it like this. It's all fun and games when everybody's coming through that front door to be checked on that list when the party's on. You're dancing, you're happy, you're singing, you're fucking drinking, you're doing it all. Doing it up, acting a fool. But there's no games after that once the party's over. Once that party's over and reality kicks in, you're like, man, I gotta deal with this shit for the next 18 years. Where's my life going? All of that shit starts to kick in. And if you're not careful, they're so busy twerking, they don't realize the boot in the ass is following right behind it to come and kick you.
Yeah, you keep building.
The ass is coming.
Yeah, whatever type debt you feel you build, it's gonna come back to your ass. It's gonna come back forward. You gotta pay it. I want to go
back for 1 second.
You said what?
I said I want to go back for 1 second.
Go ahead, go back.
So when either you or Mike mentioned oh, you talked about, oh shoot, I lost my thought. No, or you were talking about when you when they back their lashes and look, not backlash, but you look sad for daddy to get what you want. But how do you get from that point to getting what you want from daddy to just saying, oh, I don't need none of y'all, you know?
Facts, because yeah, they went back to they want bills, and then now I'm independent. So you're right. So for real, if you think about this shit, this shit is delusional and it's fucked up because they went from my bills, independent, and now they want to cater to a man because her sister pregnant. And then, which bring me to the next song in 2006 was To the Left, To the Left. And this song, Irreplaceable album or whatever you want to call it, was basically telling women, have a plan B. If he's not working out, kick his ass to the left and call up the next guy. Brainwashing to the T. Because she said, you can get out, but don't worry about it. I'll replace your ass in a minute. Matter of fact, he's on his way. So a lot of times, like they say, unfortunately, what they say, women line up their replacement before they get rid of the guy. I'm gonna start with Mike on this one because I got to start off with the man on this one. How you feel about that? Because that was that song was an anthem to tell women always have a plan B.
Man, I think honestly that shit is real fucked up because if she already had the next man lined up, that says a lot about herself because she already had an orbiter, and this whole time when she thought, well, when that dude thought he was in a relationship, everything's gonna work out, everything's calm, everything's cool. She was already, she already had the side nigga dick right lined up, ready to be inserted in, and then when the dude didn't want to play that game no more, I guess, or whenever the jig was up, she's like next. And a lot of women don't get off that cop carousel either. They keep going for it until it's dried out. Nobody don't want her at.
And a lot of things what we don't look at on that video is she was the breadwinner. Okay? Because if she was the breadwinner, why she kicking him out? And first of all, she didn't want him to lead the relationship in the first place. She wanted to lead the relationship, so she kicked him out, and then she lined up another orbiter. Unfortunately, this is the way a man thinks. A woman should be happy to have a man and come and pair bond with him. And if a woman ain't doing what she got to do, he kick her out and then he go get another woman. And man, we kind of like we're very logical, and we can literally love our girl and go bang another chick. Unfortunately. But she showed on this video and on this song that women, don't worry about your emotion. You can have more than one man, but just rule the relationship. And if he's not acting right, kick him to the left. But I ain't got no ring on my left hand finger. That's how I'm looking at it. How you feel about it, Mo?
For Irreplaceable, well, first of all, it reminds me of the Bill song again. You talk about all the bills he running up, and in this song you're talking about, there's one line that always stuck out in that song to me when she said, you rolling her around in the car that I bought you. So I'm just like, okay, so you got the next man ready, but you know that you're doing, I don't know. I think you're doing too much. So, you don't have to replace him if you're doing too much, or if he don't replace you first.
What do you think? Was it Camille? You on here?
I'm here. I mean, yeah, I think the same thing. Hey, I go with the same comments. Nothing. I listen to the whole thing, all above.
I didn't think that she necessarily had another man ready, like, because that reminds me of the creep.
So I do want to say this. I do want to say this as a woman, that a lot of people right now are simping. These guys, I see it already. It's like these order books, like these order bits and simping. It's a real thing. It's real.
Yeah. You're right about that. There's a lot of guys out here that put women on a pedestal, and that's when the women need to trust their discernment as a woman, because, like I said, women been. If you're an attractive lady or average or over average or average, you've been offered dick every day of your life since you was 13. So you should know who the suckers and simps and players are and what a real man think. But women get to the point they become an attention whore and they don't even know it. And they feel like every man thinks like the simp. And the simp is really almost 80% of the man these days. And the 20% of the man ain't gonna think like the simp. And that's why women get frustrated when they hit that wall, because they didn't play man for so long. And then when they run to a man that actually know the game and can play them, then they say you're playing games. But what about all the games you played when you had the power? Because that's one thing about a woman. She loves a challenge. Some women love a man that they feel like they can break down or see if they can. But if they can't break down, then they say he's playing games, because all in all, they know that man has that power. How you feel, Mike, about that?
I mean, if she knew that she had that kind of power, she would abuse it. But then when she gets checked for that, now it's no longer fun and games. It's a serious situation that goes on. So it's like every action there's a reaction. Thank you. Every action is a reaction. So you always have to keep in mind of what you're doing, and always remember, karma's always right around the corner. You don't act right. You get your act right later on, but you start getting caught up with certain things. So that's why I don't get involved in that shit. If I see shit going way left, I don't even bother with it. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Go ahead. Jump in, Mo. My bad.
No, I think that talk about brainwashing. I think that contributes to the brainwashing too, where the guys the so-called simps are going for the manipulative women. If you were going for that woman that's up here crying about bills, like it's not, then you would be with that one. Okay, this one wants to pay your bills, so get with the chick that wants you to pay it, instead of one that's like, well, I know I can take advantage of him. And then they want to talk about a guy like that. Oh, he's lame. I could do this and that, and telling, you're talking about telling your girlfriends how much you took advantage of him, you bragging about it. I don't think that's...
Yeah, that's facts. All right, so then after the bills and, like I said, to the left and all that, irreplaceable, then they got the man to jump on board with some of this fucking music. For real, they did. They waited. Let me see, that was made in 2006, and then 2 years later, you talking about, well, before 2006, actually the year before, in 2005, T-Pain made the song "I'm in Love with a Fucking Stripper." How can you be in love with a damn stripper? But I know it might have been fun and games, it might have been something, but that still was brainwashing for the stripper to feel like she can dilute man and take advantage of men and their money and build her life up and all that crap. How do y'all feel about that song, "I'm in Love with a Stripper"? It really made women realize that they can sell that dream and do what the hell they want to do with men. How you feel about that, Mo?
Exactly. That's going back to the simp I put in quotation marks. Like, whatever I want to say that particular rapper was, but that's like, that goes back to the video vixens. Okay, well, I'm showing you all this. Don't you want this? Don't you want to pay for this? Because, especially if you're the type of dude that might not have been able to get a lot of play or whatever, but you could play with me. How much money you got? That's enough with a stripper type thing.
Facts. You paying for validation and using your money at the same time. Because if you look at the cover of that song on YouTube, he got money in his hand talking about "I'm in love with a stripper," because you paying, you dumb fuck. How you feel, Mike, about that song?
Man, I'm gonna be real with you. That dude is a fool, bro. A fool and his money and a hoe is soon parted. I'ma just say it like that. Like if you're throwing your shit out there, it's basically, it brings me back to some shit that I was in New York, right? We call those pigeons. You know, you in the fucking park. You got your little bag of popcorn or your bag of bread and shit. Throw that shit out there, and then you see them all flop down. Once you out of your bread, they off with the fucking bread, and you ain't got shit. You just sitting there looking like a dumbass. You know, them just fly over you and shit on you. Like, nah, the dude is a fool. He promoted simping. Simping, when that song came out, was at an all-time high. If you was a hoe, you was making money off of these niggas doing that stupid shit. And be like, yeah, I'm in love with a stripper. She she taking your money. Man, so you have a class. You know what I'm saying? You look stupid out there. You get caught out there now when your pockets is dry. She off with your bread. You just don't think, player.
Do you?
Dumb.
Yeah. You got anything to add on that, Camille? Is Camille still there? I think we lost Camille, but yeah, that song.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, we talked. Mo said what she had to say about it. So I'm gonna jump on after that song. Did y'all? I got two more guys that kind of sold out for the women. It's probably more guys, but the ones that the stripper song was very high, and the song with Ne-Yo and Jamie Foxx, and I think it was two different ones, but Miss Independent and I Love Her Because She Got Her Own, which Love Her She Got Her Own ain't too bad. But Miss Independent was like, they was all jumping on, to me, they was jumping on Beyonce's coattail in the long run. And I felt like at the end of the day, a man didn't have to announce what he need in a woman. I just felt like it was something, a money thing, a money grab. Like if I make an independent song like Beyonce said, as a man, then they would love me as a man. And at the same time, you don't have to promote that. I think independent women went too far in the first place. How you feel about Ne-Yo and Jamie Foxx simping on those two songs, man? Mike, I'm sorry, Mike.
Okay.
I mean, like looking at it from a standpoint, I really wouldn't. I mean, they're good entertainers, but as far as all of that following to the rhetoric, that's just about as bad as the piper playing the fiddle for all the mice to be let off a fucking cliff, man. It's a dead end game. You'll lose, guaranteed. Because a lot of the times, even with all of that music going on, a lot of them chicks wasn't really checking for that. That's just an open invitation to say, hey, I'm a victim. Do with me as you wish. And these bitches was doing that shit. They be like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use this dude, all his resources are gone, and I'm gonna get with the bad boy later on. As soon as we go home, I'm gonna be like, bye, sweetie. Go right to the bad boy. It wasn't checking for us like that. That's how it was. But, that's when you play the nice guy. But when you just don't give a fuck, it come right to you. You see the situation for what it is, the reality. But they paint that picture. They pitch you Disney. And then once the reality sets in and you start observing more, they just unload the dog shit. It's there. You just have to wake up and smell it for what it really is. Dog shit. No bullshit.
Facts. Did you, Mo, how you feel about Jamie Foxx and them making that song? Did you look at it as if they was trying to add on to the rallying crowd, or was it just trying to get a buck?
I think it's probably all the above, and that song I want to ask, since you two had a male perspective, I just wonder, do you think that was the birth of the man is, some of the men that are like, okay, well, since you're so Miss Independent, I don't have to do a darn thing.
It could have been to the point when certain guys that's narcissistic and manipulative, they took that song and women had that pride of being Miss Independent from Beyonce and added on with Jamie Foxx and Ne-Yo as if, okay, I can use this to be a scrub in her life. And because you got to think about it, a woman that's independent, she's surface level most of the time if she's promoting that. So she gets a guy, she don't want that to look bad if it looks good to everybody else. So she will sell out to keep the guy, but that guy that's a narcissistic guy knows that she has a reputation to withhold of I can keep a man and be independent, even if she has to pay for it. And a lot of times women don't understand, y'all might be 10 steps ahead of us, but some men are 2 steps ahead of you as well. So because some men ain't dumb, they just play stupid, just like women play stupid as well. And most of the time, these are narcissistic guys that see a woman with the rah-rah independence, the rah-rah, I got to have a Chanel bag or this and that. And then they sit there and the narcissistic guy, play the role and ease his way in, and knowing that she got to uphold her image to still make her look good and wear the mask for society. So a lot of times, guys used to benefit off the Miss Independent song from Neo and Jamie Foxx and Beyonce and No Scrubs and all that, because they knew the woman will get the shit to her head as if I gotta be presentable as I got everything, including the man, even if I have to pay for it. That's how I look at it.
And I think it contributed to the brainwashing and exiting the man now, even if he was there. But it's still making it look like, or it's bringing this image of the woman. I don't know if you touched on this or if you were touching on this in a minute, but the reversal of I want to say reversal of role, reversal of power. Like, why is the woman trying to play the masculine role, if we can say role?
Well, a lot of times women feel like if I have to control the money, I got less chance of getting hurt. And
then,
hold on, go ahead.
I'm sorry, because then, like your title said, it said I don't need no man, but you, like, figuratively, you becoming the man you saying you don't need.
Yeah, that's exactly what society has brainwashed women to feel like my money is important and I can find a man to cater to me instead of me taking a chance to cater to him. So a lot of times women are brainwashed that they don't need a man, or if they do choose to have a man, they feel like that they have the things a man has to keep a man, which ain't going to work in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mike, do you agree? Man, I strongly agree with that shit. Because if you figure, okay, if she assumes his role and positions of power, then what would she really need the man for? If he puts himself there, the best way to counteract that is to just not play that fucking game at all. Leave her there. Let whatever victim she's going to get, eventually they'll wake up over time and then quickly dismiss her, or they'll figure it out that later on down the line that all the shit that she may have put them through, the juice is just not worth the squeeze, and there's better opportunity for better interaction somewhere else.
Facts.
I dealt with a chick that at one point I said, so let me ask you a question. She said, yes. I said, why would you get into a relationship if you want to leave? I know my position as a man, but do you know your role as a woman? She said, well, I believe that a woman could lead in a relationship. I said, and do you have a man now? She said, no. I said, exactly. But listen, honey, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. And I never called her back again. If there's no position for me to be there, why would I be there to assume that role if you're already trying to take that role? I don't want to be there. I wouldn't want to be there. And I'm sure anybody else who would think critically, why am I there if this individual doesn't even know their role? Doesn't make any sense.
Facts. You got anything to add on that, Mo?
Yes, I feel like that creates a competitive atmosphere. Like you just said, okay, well, which one? Well, you know you're the man, but it's like, okay, well, if you doing that, then why am I here?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When I brought up that video I did yesterday of what's wrong with this post, when she said, all I want to do is make money, be a good mother and love a loyal man. To me, at the end of the day, that post is all backwards because women have control of who enter their bodies. So for me, I would rather for her to say, all I want to do is, I won't say find a husband because a husband is supposed to find a wife. All I want to do is have a husband, be a great mother, and build to some man's foundation. That would sound better even as a single mother, because at the end of the day, you're basically saying to the man that I believe in the natural order of you, even if I do have a child, I believe in that at the end of the day, I need a person that's going to be with me to death do us part. Because at some point, your child is going to grow up and leave the nest. You feel me? So the man needs to be needed with saying that, just showing that the man needs to be needed. The second thing, being a great mother, mean I'm going to be a great mother to my child. And if he has a child, I can be a great stepmother. That takes away all the rhetoric right there. And then the last but not least, saying whatever the foundation me and him I walk into with this man, I'm going to add value to his program. I'm not going to take away his program.
Real shit.
But when a woman comes in,
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. Say, for example, a chick wants to get with you, right? I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
A chick wants to get with you, and you ask her, okay, well, what would your role be in the relationship? And she was trying to be competitive, not for you, but against you, and she's claiming independence. How would you handle that shit?
She'll see the back of my shoes because I'll be like, it's a wrap. I can't even do it. I mean, I'll be honest, like, you gotta realize, older you get, your life is about your program, your life situation, what's best for your life, no matter man or woman. And I'm not sitting here saying every woman needs to submit to all men. You gotta find out what's gonna work for you. The playbook for your life, the playbook for the person that you intertwine with, who's going to be the offense, who's going to be the defense, but we're trying to win the game. And the only way you win a game as a man and a woman is to understand how we're going to both play our positions and who's going to be the leader, who's going to be the head, who's going to be the neck. If you go by the natural order, the man's the head, the woman's the neck. No matter if a woman make more money than a man, she still can be the neck. I didn't see this shit in other races. I know white women right now at my job, right now, big bosses, but they man don't make that money, but he's still the boss. Other races of women, except I may make more money than my husband, but he still runs what's going on in the relationship because he's the fucking man. You hear a bump in the goddamn middle of the night, your ass ain't going down there. The woman, the man going down there to take the bullet. So a lot of times women don't look at it like that. Especially in the black community, they feel like I'll work my way up to this and that. But if you're making $100,000 or $90,000 as a black woman, it's only 8% of black men that make over six figures in the whole country. Not counting the ones and it's a shortage in men. Men are in jail, men are dead, men don't even want to be bothered with women right now with the red pill and the MGTOW and all that shit too. So if you do find a man that's a decent man, if he don't make as much money, who cares? Good, find your one love, find your one like, and live happy. Stop worrying about 1,000 likes on Instagram and Facebook and all that shit. Find your one person for you and only you, and don't worry about it. Because at the end of the day, if he got 25 cents and you got 5 cents, y'all got 30 cents. And if he got 5 cents, she got 25 cents, y'all still got 30 fucking cents. Don't matter. So a lot of times I feel like women do build themselves up, which is good, but they don't understand the whole thing. The man don't carry the baby, the woman do. The man she's the receiver. He's giving it to her. So at the end of the day, if you want to play the man role, you want a man to be a woman, then I guess he can need to start carrying babies and shit. and sitting at home being a housewife or house husband. You know, it's just so many ways you can go in this. But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of times women are deluded because they listen to all these things. They went through all these things we talked about, and they feel like a man is not of value. You know, that should be the first priority. A woman to build her legacy and start and keep her family going is to find a dependable, well-spoken, well-rounded man to keep her legacy going so she can procreate and live happily ever after. But nobody values the natural order of the Bible no more. How you feel about that, Mo?
Yep, I agree with that. Piggybacking off of that, I would say that it's either the thought of a brainwashing thought of a woman does not need a man, or the other type of woman, or I need him, or a stepping stone. So still, you're not really needing him, like to the point where you're trying to be with him. You just need him as a means to an end.
Facts. But that post that I talked about, I know a woman tried to, you know, she came in my comments and said how she felt, but you know, like at the end of the day, women are gatekeepers of sex. We as women have to pick right. Y'all got to pick better. Period. And I don't want to keep leaning on that, but at the end of the day, you got to pick who you want to be with, and at the same time, man, we pick our wives. Men are the gatekeepers of marriage, and that's another thing that frustrates women when they get upper in age. That just because you can get a guy to come over there and break your back or take you out to eat for a steak and do all that, can you actually get him to buy you a ring and put a ring on it, and then willing to sign his name on the dotted line to give you his last name? And that's really the measuring stick for a woman. 1 out of 4 women will marry in the United States. And are you the one, girl? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? With a lot of women. And this shit seriously, because we don't know that. We've been lied to from the 60s, from all the stuff that I talked about today. All this shit didn't lie to us. Our culture didn't lie to us, thinking that it's that easy to get a man or get a woman and get marriage. Am I right, Mike?
And that's some real shit. Some real shit. Like a lot of women you'll see are getting even more desperate for marriage, and a lot of men are aware of what's going on to the point to where they're like, wait a minute, we've been lied to. We've been told to get married, and I've seen nothing really come of it, and very rarely it works out because of the person that I'm dealing with. I should have realized who I was dealing with, and a lot of women need to ask themselves this question. I'm going to be real. And then for the fellas too, you're getting married. What's your purpose of getting married? Are you getting married for the status? Or are you getting married because you have love and respect for the relationship and one another? And that you're willing to take the good with the bad? And a lot of people I've seen nowadays, they get married for the status. Oh, look at the ring he bought me. Look at the shit. And then, you know, putting each other in debt. And then before you know it, the shit's over. You know, destroyed everything.
Facts.
I feel like a lot of women are signing up for the wedding, not the marriage. Like you want the pretty pictures, the dance recital, or not dance recital, but you know, you want that whole moment. Mm-hmm. But you're signing up for a marriage, a lifetime partnership and commitment, not just a pretty day, you know.
Yeah, it's not the.
That's true.
It's not the day. It's not about the day. It's about what you do after that day.
Yep. And another thing too. You made a good factual statement, Mo, and I'm gonna get with you on that as far as marriage. You know, I was never married before. You know, I see my parents married, and I noticed between them sticking together through that marriage, it required work. You have to put in work in order to make it last. A lot of people out there, they want the status of marriage, but they're not willing to put in the work. So what happens? Doesn't last. People have to keep that in mind too.
And then sometimes you gotta be realistic with yourself. Like me, I'm be honest with you. I was married for 8 years. I have a son that's 20, a son that's 10. I have my own home, and I'll be 40 in July. For me, right now, marriage is not on the table because I have children that I want to grow into. I want my youngest son to, marriage may be in my future after I'm done raising my son. But my first order of business for the 8 years until he turned to an adult is to make sure I raise him. Because if something happened to me in between those 8 years, then at least he has something to fall back on what I leave him. If I sit there and wait to get married before he's grown, and if something happened to me, then now he got to share it with a wife that might not even have the right intentions. Because you really don't, I don't say you really don't know nobody. Well, you really don't know nobody or what their true intentions are when you're at a certain age. My pair bonding years for myself of pairing with a woman to actually build from scratch is over. I won already. I got married. It didn't work out. So I could accept just, dating, a partnership, companionship, and understanding that that's as far as it may go for right now. Because my main focus is to still build my generation for my son to be comfortable when I'm dead and gone. It's not for me to take everything I work for right now, get remarried. Then if it don't work out 2-3 years, my son 13, 14, I'm fighting for a house. I'm fighting for this. I'm fighting for that. And that's, unfortunately, that's the truth, because women are more mature than men. But when we mature, we look at the world for what it is, especially red pill men. We look at, wow, the juice is not really worth the squeeze. And that's why a lot of men are not getting married or getting their 30s or almost 40. They understand of how everything really is, what the laws are going to do against you. You see how motherfuckers is trying to run into the Capitol and change shit. That they trying to change the law right there. But imagine a man that, man should be downtown at the goddamn the buildings trying to tell the child support laws. Because if you flipped it around and you had a woman looking for a man and the man had to be the single father and all the laws was on his side and he had the child and the mother had the house, or the soon-to-be girlfriend was like, I'm going to marry him and move him and his child in. That relationship revolves on that child. As soon as he feel like you're not treating his child right, he can dip and then take half your shit. But women don't look at it on a man's point of view. They look at it only on their point of view. And that's what you're facing. And that's coming from a man. That's what a woman's facing if they don't pick right and they single moms down the line. Not like I got nothing against single moms, but it's a bad deal. Only time it's a good deal is when you raise your children, I raise my children. I want guaranteed companionship with somebody with my last name. Even then, that's still worth a shot. But at least she's maybe done building in her life. I'm done building in my life. I just want to enjoy each other. That makes sense, because once a man mess up his parent bonding years or his shot at marriage, he needs to focus on what's going to make him comfortable and have peace later down the line. And sometimes for a man, it's not dealing with a woman. And same thing with a woman. Sometimes it's not dealing with a man. It's just dealing with a companion. That's what I want to say. What you think, bro? Or what y'all think of what I said?
Man, that's some hardcore shit, and that's the reality of it. You see the whole shit, you see the situation for what it is, you accept it, whether it works out or not. Sometimes it may not work out as early as you think, but you learn from it and you learn how to bounce back in order to make it better. Yeah. And then from there you go on.
But we gotta be honest about our reality. And I'm not at the age right now when I'm ready to fucking risk it all with no motherfucking body. Sorry, that's just what it is. Like, maybe if we pair bond while in these 8 years before my son get grown and I see she don't need me, I don't need her, and we got the same equally yoked values, then it makes sense if you want to take that step. But it doesn't make it's no for sure thing in life. Everything's a risk, everything's a gamble. But I'd rather risk when I ain't got everything to risk. if I'm going to risk. And that for me, like I said, I'll be 40 in July. Give me another 10 years then before I take a risk with a woman again, if I'm going to do it. But I'm going to make sure all my ducks is in the row and all my kids are grown and gone.
No shit.
How you feel about that, Mo?
I think, okay, I understand that totally. I wanted to ask about, you were talking about the women want the marriage for status and so forth, but what do you guys think about a woman, let's say if she has 3 kids, maybe a couple child's fathers, and now she's ready for a ring? Because you were talking about marry before you carry. So I'm thinking, okay, so why didn't you want, it's like they kind of, I've heard several women say, well, the next man's going to put a ring on this, so why didn't you, where was that 3 kids ago?
That's a whole form of delusion, to be honest with you. She's saying, well, I could find the next man. Sure, she might find the next man, but will the next man be for her? And if she's really accepting that bad deal or whatever's coming that way, you said she has 6 kids? Like, as far as that situation, 6 kids?
No, I didn't say 6 kids. I was saying she might have 3 kids, 2 different fathers, or 3 fathers, or even 1 father. She didn't demand that ring until 3 kids later.
Exactly. That honestly, I'm gonna put it to you like this: unless she's equally yoked, unless she's learned her lesson from that and just said, "Look, I just want to raise my kids." A lot of men aren't going for that nowadays. Those are called cleanup men. Unless she's taking care, like she could expect them to be there. She could expect them, to request her for sex or whatever that comes along with it, or just some chill down time. But as far as being in a relationship and building something well, he's not going to be so quick to do that shit, because he's not going to want to risk it all and having to take care of somebody's kids along down the line, or even having a serious relationship with her. That's just how I see it from the fellas that I noticed. Like my cousins, my older cousins, they were like, "Hey man, she got 3 kids. I may fuck her, but I ain't going to stick around like that."
Yeah,
I'm just like, whoa, like that's just the way that it is. Because if you figure it like this, here it is, I'm coming into a relationship, already made family, right? I'm making a 6-figure salary, high end. What the fuck am I doing now with a female that has her own kids?
Well, you can build your own kids.
Yeah, well, you can build your own shit. You're not investing in your future. You're investing in somebody else's future who's not even there. And you know what's the worst part about that shit, too? I'm sorry to cut you off, Stack. What you said?
Now, go ahead. You're going to keep going. I got something to add when you're done with it.
Okay, cool. And the saddest situation about that is, too, you have all of this investing. You're investing into this individual who's got kids by other men. Now, suppose the relationship doesn't last. You just wasted your time.
And your money.
That you could never get back. And your money. And your resources. That's all I'm going to say on that. It's a waste.
Well, Stack, after you're done, I have a question, too.
Now, I'm just saying in the long run, your relationship revolves on, if you're a single mom, your relationship revolves on how you raise your child, no matter what. And that's even if the child is in the house or out the house. And what I mean by that is, like for me, if I'm in 10 years, I'll be 40 now going on 50. And if I meet a young lady she may be 42 or something, and her son is 19, 18, 20. And if he's grown, but is he responsible? Is he gonna be that 21, 22-year-old that, Mom, I couldn't pay my rent, Mom, help me pay my rent, Mom, I got kicked out, Mom, I gotta come back home, when I'm trying to have my life with her? Because at the end of the day, the way you raise your children, even if he was 8 and I met her and I took a chance on her, but is he gonna be the same child if we're raising him right, or is she gonna let him understand the man rules of the household and realize, like, I don't have no say, but your stepfather do? A lot of women not do that. A lot of kids will shit test their parents and realize and get jealous of, I won't be combative because I'm used to my mom being easy on me, especially if it's a boy, because it takes a man to raise a man, even if he's the stepfather. And a lot of times women will always jump into the business because they thinking tough love is hurting my son when it's really helping your son. So that's what all I really want to say is at the end of the day, you know, a lot of men is tapping out dealing with single moms. That's why. Because even though you may feel like he's be the most behaved son ever, a man will always push him more to be a man, even if it might not be seem like problems, but a sensible man watches for problems and prepares to meet them. The fool never looks ahead, and a woman could never look in a man and tell a man how to raise a boy. Even if she was raising him right, he might have him add extra things, that responsibility that may be hard on him at first because he used to his mama catered to him. So that's all I really want to say. You know, a lot of people, I get consultations to women a lot, and single women, I have to explain that dynamic that you don't see what that man see because he's a man. He's out here in these streets every day. He know what your son need more than you even know what your son need. You know what your son, you know what you think your son need, but a man is gonna know more than anything about how to be a man. So now what you were saying, Mo?
I was saying, okay, because Mike mentioned that he wouldn't want to get with that woman and that in a hypothetical situation where she had 3 kids, maybe one child's father, maybe 3 children's father. But how would you feel about that? You said you have children. How would you feel about dealing with a woman like that?
Well, obviously, for me, I wouldn't even deal with it. Like I said, I have my own children to raise, or my own child to raise, because my other son is grown. But I'm not about to sit here and step, like, the older you get, women or men, you just want peace of mind. And I ain't saying I'm not saying her kids could be bad or nothing. But just knowing that another man will be in your business, or 2 men be in your business, that's a lot for a man to sleep on. You know, and the men that do actually take on that shit, they are really, unfortunately, I won't sit here and say I commend them. They only doing it for one reason, to make sure they got guaranteed sex around them. A lot of men don't know how to be abstinence. They'll sell out for sex. No matter how much the headache is, they know that, oh, she's a single, active mama. She has sex. If I just sit here and pay bills, at least I got a guaranteed vag laying next to me. Because at the end of the day, a man that got sense and value, what is he to gain dealing with a woman with two kids by 2 different men, and then he got 2 different men in his damn business? The only reason why he would want to deal with her because she probably put it down in the bedroom. But then at the same time, he ain't thinking about all the other headaches he got to deal with later down the line once he make that commitment.
I have a question about, are you going to talk about brainwashing again with these songs today?
I ain't get to today. I just got to how we got here from the 90s all the way to 2000. And then, you know, closing, I was going to talk about now is social media. It's fans only. It's Instagram. It's Facebook. It's Snapchat. This is how we got here from all these avenues, from this, like, you know, what we started in the beginning. We talked about the 60s, the welfare system. We talk about the equal rights for women to make the same amount of money as men. We talk about the no more shows that's on TV, like the Cosby's, a show when a man values a woman, when a woman values a man. Daytime TV, the Oprahs, the Jenny Joneses, the Ricky Lakes, all that shit. Then we were reality TV, from the Bachelors, the Bachelorettes, the Flavor of Love, the Real World. All that shit diluted us, and then we got to the music. The gangster rap took out each other, took out the man, made more single mothers. Then when we got more single mothers, we got guys that we put men on a pedestal to degrade women, and women ate that shit up. They didn't care as long as they got good attention. Then they came to Video Vixen. And now you got all the songs that actually level up songs. Or I don't want no scrubs. So this is the video. This is what this live stream is about. Is that's how the brainwashing starts. And we can talk about today, but it's really in the music today. It's still in the music today. It's still now, instead of being scrubs and independent, it's talking about I need to be a bad bitch. I need to, but let somebody outside your race call you the N-word or a bitch, you fucking lose shit. You lose your shit at work. But now you need to be a bad bitch. You need to drop it like it's hot. You need to shake your ass. You need to do this. Before, you couldn't even see that shit on TV. It was on BET Uncut. Now you can pick up your phone in a split second and see somebody shaking their ass, sticking their tongue out, taking pictures on a sink, losing all respect for them. But you think a man that got substance, a man of God, want to wife that?
Exactly.
And that's where we at. That's how we got here from the start of the video, talk about all this stuff, and it trickles to now. This is how we get here, dealing with delusion, of brainwashing from all the shit I talked about, affected the imprint in our mind. I got people I know that's damn near grandmas taking pictures on Instagram with their ass hanging out because they deluded.
That's what I was about to ask you. So you had all these bent over, look at my cheeks pictures on Instagram, and then they say it's a thirst trap, and they say, well, what do you think? And what do you think? Who do you think I am? Well, I mean, what are you supposed to think? Look at you.
What are you promoting? At the end of the day, what are you promoting? And at the end of the day, that's where we're at. Like it's so bad. Even like I grew since I met Coach Warren, Mike, like-minded people like you, Mo. I done grown in the last 2 years back on YouTube, and now I look back at shit. Now I look at people way differently. Even the experiences of being married and just life experience of having both my parents, a lot of things I'm very lucky for. And now I look at this world as if it's fucked up because everybody trying to get something from somebody. Like my content, I don't go off and something happen in the world and I go off and do what all the content creators do. They run off and they click chase just so they get money. I don't got no Cash App. I ain't even eligible for cash. Well, not on Cash App, no super chat and all that. I'm on here 2.5 hours talking to somebody, trying to save somebody, trying to help somebody. I ain't getting paid for this, but I don't mind doing it because I know at the end of the day, I wish somebody would reach me a long time ago to help me be a better man, which I ain't saying I'm a bad man, but this is why I do this, because I'm not about to sell out or have other people sit out here and sell their souls and don't understand you're getting brainwashed. You're getting brainwashed when you sit here and watch this shit. You getting brainwashed when you don't understand your energy and who to put in your energy, who not to put in your energy.
I have a question for the two of you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what do you all think about? Because you mentioned earlier about, well, you said you were married and everything, and what does a woman bring to the table? We know that she has the sex thing, but what do you think is a valuable thing to bring to the table?
Man, I'm going to say the best thing a woman could bring to a table is to be a helpmeet to admire a man. Admire, be his piece to his pillow, like my girl China White say. I don't know if you remember the movie Boomerang.
Yes.
And when Halle Berry started dating Eddie Murphy in that movie, she liked him from day one. But he seen it, but he didn't act on it because he was too busy chasing Robin Givens. But for a real man, he needs a woman to admire who he is and feed off that energy. That if she brings that to the table as if he's the only man for her and he could feel that, then that's when a man will actually run through a brick wall for you as a man. And at the same time, the energy must stay for y'all level, not worry about what everybody else think. The issue is when a woman take a wall down in this day and age, she's scared that he's gonna take that energy and run with it. Vice versa, same thing for a man. But if a woman know how to stroke a man's ego and she looks at him as he has all the answers, no matter what, that support, that cooperation right there, a man do anything for that woman. A man would die for that woman. But you don't have women that want to bring that to the table. They feel like if I let all my guard down to this man, then he gonna play me. But it starts with the family. It starts with how a woman views her father, because that's the first man she's supposed to relinquish her feminine energy to, is her father, then her husband. But we don't do things right in the community, so everybody's protecting everybody's energy. So when a woman can release all her energy and admire a man and stroke his ego, then the best thing a woman could bring to the table is complimenting that man's lifestyle and not complicating him. So that's the best way I can answer that question. What about you, Mike? What you got?
Me, just like you said, man, best thing a woman can bring into a man's life is basically knowing her role and staying in her feminine flame, and at the same time aiding that man. Because if you aid that man and you help that man, you compliment his life and not complicate it, making things difficult and all this other shit that a lot of these chicks are doing nowadays, that wonder why they can't find a good man or why a lot of men aren't getting married. It's just simple. Us men, we're simple creatures. We don't like complicated shit. We like shit easy. We say, hey, look, I'm hungry. You go in there, you make that dude a sandwich, you go inside that kitchen and you whip up some good food, he's going to stick real close by you. On the other hand, if you make some shitty food, I can't help you on that. But, if you compliment his life, not complicated, or if he sticks in something and you say, hey, can I help you out? Or you need a wrench, or are you thirsty or some shit like that? Then he's always going to remember that nice approach, but you have to maintain it. You have to keep up with it. You can't just do it out of a blue moon. You're going to think you just want something. But if you're doing that on a regular and you really rocking with him, any kind of problem that you got as a woman, watch how quickly he'll fly through. Not on some Superman save him shit, not on some Captain save him shit, but he's going to come through. He's going to be like, yo, it's a problem? It's a problem? Because then he's going to always think, if somebody's fucking with my woman, then they're trying to complicate my life so that the direction or angle of attack is going to be focused on them because they're a problem to you, which is also a problem to him. But if you're making things easy for him and you're doing what you have to do, then he's going to spot you. Any kind of problem that you got, he's going to try to help you solve it. But if you're a problem to him, he's going to get you out of his life because he doesn't like problems.
Yeah,
if you can stay in your feminine flame as a woman, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be rocking with you. But if you fucking him over and you're doing all this other shit, he's not gonna want to deal with you. He's gonna be like, good with it.
So the best way to sum it up is if you just be a man's piece and you show him that you his number one fan, and you just feel your. You pour into him with joy, then he gonna want that. That's what we want. We want cooperation, femininity, all that stuff. But that's the best way I can explain it. Is like when you sing, like if you watch that movie Boomerang, when they redid the damn video and took it to Robert Givens and showed her for the Strange thing, she was like, to the point she was holding on to him. It was business, but Robin Givens could tell, like, damn, she admires this motherfucker. When I just I pumped and dumped his ass, she all over this man, and she started getting intimidated by that energy, and that's why she threw the pussy back at him to see if she could catch him. But for Halle Berry, it was more as if she admired everything about him as a man, and that's one thing a woman could bring to the table, and that's what I mean when I tell women stop worrying about 1,000 likes on Instagram when you only need one like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that makes a difference. Period.
That's real shit right there. That's real shit right there. A lot of these chicks, they be checking for attention and not realizing that all of that time and energy that they're pouring into getting that time and attention and looking for it in the wrong places. Stop looking for it in the wrong places, and maybe you'll have something that's worth everlasting. See, a lot of chicks that be doing for the gram and, oh, let me do this for likes and let me go ahead and show my shit. After a while, that all of that ramrod and all of that other bullshit, it gets old. It gets really old. A lot of men are starting to see that shit. Okay, all right, she's dressed half naked. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Okay, she's got big titties. I see that she's got big titties. Okay, she's got a fat ass, long fingernails, fake hair, fake weed, fake eyelashes. All this other bullshit. It gets old. Nobody wants to fuck with that no more like that. You're doing all of this shit for likes. Okay, she's an attention whore. She's probably got a fan page. Oh, too late. Spoke on that. She's got a fan page. Oh, look at that. She's juggling somebody's balls on World Star. You know, come on. It gets old.
Yeah, it get old. And then you gotta realize at the end of the day, after all that stuff we talked about, even what we just talked about what a man needs from a woman, at the end of the day, when you look at what's going on now, everybody's a dancing fucking monkey for fucking Instagram. And for real, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, fans only, you're a dancing fucking monkey for somebody else's entertainment. The only validation you need is your self-love and find somebody that's going to love you for you. And that's why I keep it 100. Even in my dating life, I keep it 100. Once I keep it 100, I even lose women because I ain't got no time to be playing with nobody's mind. That's one thing I don't do. I don't play with women and I don't play with children. That's one thing I don't do. If you look for a husband and you try to talk to me, I ain't look for a wife. So I'll be honest with one. I ain't gonna wait till after I sleep with you to tell you that shit. That's just what it is. A lot of dudes don't deal with that because the more you lie, the more problems you're gonna have. And the way the world is, energy gonna come right back to hunt your ass. For real, because if you lying and you land with somebody, you know how much energy that shit take?
Yo. It all catches up with them in the end, bro. I know I chased away a couple of chicks, and I'm just like, I tell them off the bat, look, I'm letting you know what it is right now. You waste my time, just if you want to waste my time, there's the door. It's there. Take it now if you need it. But when you fucking with this real shit right here, I'm looking to progress.
Progress.
I'm not looking to finesse. I'm looking to progress.
But yeah, man, we about to close out. We almost on here 2.5 hours. I think it was a good live stream. It's something that needed to be talked about of just how we've been brainwashed as a culture, period. But at the end of the day, the family starts with a man and a woman, and we can't do nothing without each other. At the end of the day, we gotta focus on just being real about our reality, understanding our lane, and work the fuck out that lane. Like I said, my lane right now is not for marriage. It's just for building more relationships with people on this platform. Even if I deal with somebody, I would deal with somebody, understand my energy. But my goal in life is just to make sure my kids be successful growing up. That's my job. I've been married. I don't have time to be in a 3-4 year marriage while my son turned 14, 15 for it to break up, and then I gotta still raise him and financially recoup all the things I might have lost in the marriage. I ain't got time for that shit. That's just how I feel. And this finesse thing with women trying to finesse men and men trying to finesse women, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. Like Mike said, you just gotta be truthful with what your intentions are, what you need from a person. Because exchanging energy and lying just to get something, that means you putting yourself back. You hurting yourself in the long run. So what y'all got to say? Y'all got anything to say to close tonight? Mo, I'm gonna start with you. If you got anything to say to the people out there?
I would just like to say thank you for this chat, for this topic. It's important, and I hope that, I would love to see the brainwashing end, but maybe one day at a time, one brain at a time.
Hey, as long as the brainwashing ends with yourself, because that's what it starts with. Like I always tell you guys on my channel, I always say it's you versus you. Because if you start saying, I'm not here because of this person, that person, then you're losing already. Because like I said, it's three types of people in the world: people that talk about things happening, people that make things happen, and people that watch things happen. Be the one in the middle, people that make things happen. Because ain't nothing gonna happen for your life unless you let it happen for yourself. But thank you, Mo. I appreciate you calling in. I might come back tomorrow night. I don't know. I'll see. But if I come back tomorrow night, y'all more. I know, Mike, you always welcome to call. Mo, you are too. Anybody that want to come back, but I don't know what the topic gonna be. But But I'm gonna let Mike close. What you gotta say, Mike? Thank you, Mo.
Man, this was definitely a good topic. Mo was definitely a good guest, man. And it was a lot of shit. Like a lot of this shit hit home, man, because this is the kind of shit that I would never even think of, and this is all happening like tenfold, and you see it every day, each and every time you walk outside, you see that shit every day. And I just wanna thank you, man, for having this kind of content that you can pass on. I'm sure you saved a lot of lives, changed a lot of people's lives for the better, and I think that more people like you need to spread this kind of message and positivity into making people understand how life works. And from a sense of reality perspective.
Yeah,
what you're doing, bro.
I appreciate you for coming in, man, calling in. I might do a show tomorrow night. I don't know. I'm gonna watch my Bears play tomorrow. If they lose, I ain't gonna want to jump in this shit. But
hey, I'm a shutdown girl. Go Bears.
Yeah, go Bears. Yeah, I'm watching my Bears tomorrow, so we'll see. If they lose, then I might not even jump on this shit. But if they win, I'll be riding high, so we can do another show. But we're closing. Big Rich then missed it. He said, "Damn, I missed it." I know he ain't gonna jump on tomorrow. Them Browns gonna be on. But just watch the playback, Big Rich. This is a good one for you to watch.
Hell yeah, Rich.
We broke it down, and if you just coming in, I know a couple people just came in. I'm gonna do one more summary, and then I'm gonna close on what I say. And I was talking about what brainwashed women in society from day one. And the first thing was the welfare laws. The second thing I said was women started to make just as much money as men. Then I said the shows, the Cosby shows, the shows are showing that, the value of a family started to go away in the 80s and early 90s. And then you get daytime TV with Sally Jesse Raphael, Oprah, Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Maury, Jerry Springer. All that shit was diluted. It was always showing the hurt for people's, anger for man and relationships. And it started to trap us and started to imprint us on reality TV. And we got hungry for it. So then they came out with from daytime TV to reality TV, from The Flavor of Love, The Bachelor, The Real World, stuff like that. That shit diluted us to the point that we thought we needed that stuff. So we thought we needed that stuff. Then we went to the music. They started the gangster rap. We started killing each other. Then it started creating more single moms by listening to the music, killing each other. Then guys started to get locked up, single moms some more. Then they went from a single moms with the music to start degrading women to making video vixens. Then from video vixens, they start having women having hate man songs, starting with Scrubs in 1992 to I Creep with TLC. Then they made a song What a Man. Instead of women want a man, they want a baby by a man. Then they talking about I need a roughneck. Then they talking about I want to be independent. I mean, the list goes on. But that's what we was talking about, Big Rich. We broke it down by everything of how society used to brainwash us in so many different ways. And now we have everybody being a dancing monkey. People are on live streams, on dating websites just to get paid. You got people doing that shit, selling out for that. You got people on YouTube actually selling out as well. They doing everything the next content creator did. Whatever hot topic is, they doing it just so they can get views and sell out. You got the fans only, women selling their soul just to get some money. But they don't realize 20 years from now when they want to be a wife or a mother, they child can look back like, your mom was on fans only. So we are being dancing monkeys because everything I said from the 60s, now 60 years later, it's all been a plan. And now it moves. It used to move every 20 years, something move into the community. Now it's every 5 years. It'd probably be less than that because the internet's so fast, everything is diluting everybody. So, but that's what we was talking about tonight, Rich. I just want to give you a good, good playback, but we can have a part 2 to this, and we could probably do a part 2 tomorrow, maybe, see if y'all want to join the conversation, because I like to see what Rich got to say, but he watching the Browns, so I'll wait a couple of weeks and we'll come back to this another time. But we'll definitely do a part 2 of brainwashing the community or brainwashing women. We'll call it brainwashing, but really it has hurt the women by looking at all this stuff and create a lot of single moms and all these video vixens, and now they're Instagram models or supposed to be Instagram models. You pick up your phone and start an account, you're an Instagram model now. So I guess that's what it is. So, but with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure y'all, if you coming in from the other stream or other live, go to Stack 44, subscribe to the channel. We have live discussions on Sundays and Saturdays, and check my videos out. And I keep it 100 and real. If you don't know me, like, share, comment. Let's let it grow. So this movement in 2021 is to help each other. I mean, I know I see a lot of people coming in. They see 7, 11 people, 8 people in here. They'll be like, oh, well, that ain't enough people for me to listen and learn. But at the end of the day, you only need one person to help you to learn something from. You don't need to worry about if it's 8,000 people over here. If it's 8, it's good for you. A lot of times people go off of numbers, not going off of the message. Numbers don't mean nothing. If you're chasing numbers, you'll never hit a message in the first place. So with that being said, thank you guys for calling in. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mike. And I appreciate everybody in the chat. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, all right? Peace. All right. I'm going to holler at you, Big Rich. I'm going to holler at everybody. If you like me, go to my YouTube channel and check me out. Stack 44 on YouTube. And I'm gone. We out of here. Peace.